Where does this rank for you amongst those?
Don't ask me this. Don't ask me this right now, man. I'm too much of a wreck, dude. We got to come back. I can't.
That's
I
fine,
can't right
that's
now.
fine.
Do you have this somewhere that you can say
I mean,
definitively
it would be
right now?
my top 5 definitively
Of all time.
of all time.
Oh, you're
Holy
opening a can of
shit.
worms right now, dude. You can't do this to me at 9 o'clock at night.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
You like pizza time?
Pizza time.
Ed, how are you?
So good, man. What
You
a
ready?
memorial weekend this has been.
It's been pretty great. It has been the greatest Memorial Day weekend in quite some time. I mean, there was a little movie that came out that we've been waiting for a long time.
For a particular movie, yeah, and
Yeah.
for sure. What was that, Alex?
The movie that everyone I think has been waiting for, or fans of just movies in general, Top Gun Maverick. It has came, it has come, it has conquered, and it will reign supreme for at least another week, and then Jurassic World's going to come out, and then it'll fall down a little bit. But
Don't say that.
that's just the truth. We all know that that's how movies work, but that's okay.
It might just
because
happen.
This is currently Tom Cruise, the legend himself. This is his highest grossing debut weekend of all time. It's currently at 160 million in the domestic box office, 250. Well, it's 249, so just shy of 250 worldwide. You know,
That's insane.
power to you, Tom Cruise. Power fucking to you.
This is his highest opening of any of his movies he's ever done.
Best opening ever.
Wow.
Any Mission Impossible, anything.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts, dude. It is
That's nuts to
absolutely
think.
bonkers. But you know what? I have a feeling we're both going to say it deserved it, and it deserved even more.
Hell yeah, baby. Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
sir.
God.
It's the biggest news of the week. We're a little late. We had some plans going on this holiday weekend. But anyway, it's all good. We'll talk about the Thor trailer. We know that came out last week, and we know people are so excited for our thoughts on that. It's fine, whatever. But anyway, yeah, we're just gonna go straight into this movie. Ed, you saw the movie 3 weeks ago, almost.
Pretty much a month ago.
Almost
I think
a month
it's pretty
ago.
much
Oh
been
my
a
gosh.
month ago, yeah, at a screening.
So you got to see it a month early, and you gave us a first reaction. It's one of our better performing videos we've ever put on YouTube and on
That's right.
Instagram. So why don't you give us your full review of Top Gun Maverick?
You don't know how long, bro. I
Yes.
mean, you do know how
I
long.
do know.
You do know. But I have been just going crazy for this film. I've been so excited for everyone to see it. If you saw my first reactions to it, I was blown away.
Mhm.
I have now seen it a second time. As Alex stated, I saw it this past weekend, Memorial Day, with my father.
Mm.
And I gotta tell you, man, it was better the second time.
Oof.
I can't wait to see it again. I'm seeing it again this weekend. I don't know what else to say, but that I put this out in my Instagram. This movie deserves Best Picture nomination for sure. After seeing it the first time I saw it, I was like, does it? I was
Absolutely.
I was ruminating in my head. Does it? And I saw it a second time. I said, absolutely, 100%. And I don't know what else to say besides that. I mean, it's the biggest compliment I think I can give almost any movie at this scale, which is really a summer blockbuster, which you never really expect
No.
to just blow everyone's minds on not only on an entertainment level, but on a filmmaking level.
Mhm.
This movie is so freaking good. You said this, and I'm going to mimic it. I don't know if I've ever felt this way about a movie in a while.
Mhm.
And I think it deserves a Best Picture nod, and we'll get into the details in a bit. But
Yeah.
how about you? Do you agree? I do know what you feel, but do you agree?
Yeah.
And how do you feel
Yeah.
about the movie, dude? It's so good. It's so
So
good.
just to put in perspective, we've known each other, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years now.
About 3 years. I think.
Yeah. Do I ever say anything was spectacular? Have
Very
I
rare.
ever said that?
Very rare. No, actually spectacular. No,
Spectacular.
No.
I don't ever use that word because I
Oh,
never want to set
shit.
expectations too high. This movie is spectacular.
Boom, baby.
It is the best cinematic experience I've had in a theater in many, many years. I mean, I think I go back to opening night of Infinity War, but even then, this movie was much, much, much better than that. It was everything and more that I could have ever wanted this to be. And this is coming from someone who's, I mean, I guess I like the first Top Gun, but I'm never going to say, oh, the 1986 Top Gun's better than any other movie that came out that year. I can, I'll say
that is the best tagline, or like the most common quote I feel like anybody can feel about the first Top Gun.
Yeah.
I guess I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
I think I do.
American
Yeah,
guy,
sure.
American girl. Sure. You like it.
Yeah.
Is it great? No. This movie is absolutely spectacular. I could not get over how good it was. I left the theater. The last actual movie where my heart was like beating through my chest that I saw in a theater was The Hurt Locker. That's the last time I can
that's a good one.
Actually remember my heart beating as fast as it was.
Like being so entrenched, right?
Like
just being
intense.
really there.
Like, what's going to
you're
happen?
there. Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. Yep.
Tom Cruise, good for you for fighting to keep this movie in theaters where it's supposed to be. I cannot say enough about it. Ed, I will also go see it next weekend again.
Yes.
I will see this as many times as I can in a movie theater.
I think so.
It in a movie theater.
Did you watch it in IMAX, by the way?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't that? Oh, dude, man.
Dude, when the theater rumbles, because when even the opening, as just the jets are starting up, and it's just a little opening montage. It's just like, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Let's talk about that opening montage, by the way. I mean,
into it.
The opening montage had me a little worried, actually.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's not a shot for shot, but it has the same exact idea as the first movie, right? We get shots of the plane and the people doing all the stuff, and it has the same music.
Right.
And it got me worried because I was thinking, oh shit, like, is this going to be a nostalgia trap? Right. I was thinking, oh, this might just be the rest of the movie is the same thing as Top Gun.
Yeah.
But thankfully, no, not even close. And then I had a better appreciation for that beginning with the freaking Danger Zone and the Top Gun theme song playing. That was the only time I was worried in the beginning. It was in the beginning. But after that, it was sweet sailing or smooth flying.
Okay, so let's get into it. What were some of your favorite parts of the film?
I'd fucking close my eyes and just put a finger on something.
Wow. Really?
I mean, right? I
can't disagree.
Right? Because I mean, I'll say a few in a minute, but honestly, I mean that wholeheartedly. This movie is again, it's not just good on an entertainment level; it's phenomenal filmmaking. Every scene is so carefully edited and placed. Everything is in perfect place. There's no missed beats, no long scenes, no short scenes. Everything. I had no problems almost on any scene. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I mean, I'm so glad you said, I'm so glad you said edited, because I cannot just remember a movie that this was this well put together.
100%.
Every shot made sense. Everything was done with a purpose.
So pinpoint accuracy.
So well done. I mean, there's scenes where they build tension. They're cutting back. They're cutting to Tom, cutting back to the recruits, cutting back to Tom. And it's like, it all works. It's not too much, like fight scenes can get too, dragged down in editing. Yeah. No, this editing is done to pull you into the movie, and it's absolutely impeccable. I cannot say enough good things about this film.
It's perfect.
I really can't.
Yeah. There's a lot about the film that works. I think, again, on an Oscar level, editing is one of them. I think it should definitely be nominated for editing. It's just incredible. Sound design. Again, name it. Directing, cinematography. I don't know what else. Amazing. All of it. It should be nominated for all of it. I don't think it would. I don't think it should. I don't think it would win Best Picture probably. But even if it gets nominated, I'll be freaking thrilled. Right. But anyways, to get back at it, favorite scenes. I mean, let's just talk about what everybody wants to talk about, which is the action scenes. Holy shit! I mean, okay, look, the first two, right, where we kind of it's more like training. Or two or three are
where
amazing.
He's kicking everybody's butt in training and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Where Tom is just taking them to school. But the scene where he does the course himself, and then from that point on, the whole third act, holy shit! Just from that point in the movie, I'm just so locked in, jaw dropped the whole time, and that's like an hour or something. Those are like obviously my favorite scenes. You see Tom doing the flying himself. It's all real, and again, just the editing and the sound. I mean, how could you not love
Right.
Those action scenes. They're just insane. It's just some of the best action I've ever seen filmed put to film and everything. Do you agree? What are your?
Yeah, I would completely agree. Like my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes was actually the last training montage before he does the track or the course.
Sure.
And they have the birds hit the jets. The plane crashes, but the other guy, he tells him, you're gonna black out. You're gonna, you're Phil G's like you're never gonna feel 10 G's. Like I don't know if a human's ever felt that. I mean, I'm sure they have, but he blacks out and then he gets out safely, but all of a sudden, like it's a perfect bait and switch, right? Like you think this one guy is gonna have this bad instance, and you're just like you have this knot in your stomach because like, oh my gosh, who's Goose? Who's gonna be Goose of this movie? Who's gonna die? Yeah.
Yes.
And so he gets out, and then you think you're fine, and then slaps you in the face with the birds hitting the engines, and the engines going out, and Bob and Phoenix have to bail out of the thing, and he he's telling them, bail, you can't save it, you can't save it. I mean, dude, it's absolutely insane.
I mean, every single
that was
one
my
of those
favorite.
scenes.
Yeah,
that was your favorite. That was your number.
That was my
one.
favorite. My second favorite would be when there would be the ending scene when Rooster comes back to save good old Maverick. Which don't get me, dude, my heart dropped. I was like, no.
Yeah, right.
They didn't, and I was like, because I thought maybe they do kill him.
Yeah.
And when it happened, I was like, oh no. And then to see
that
him
whole
like
thing happens.
Get up, and then he comes saves him, and then they go and find the F-14.
The whole. I mean, who thought that it was going to extrapolate that far? That third act.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I mean, it was a gift that kept on giving. It was just. It was so. I just couldn't breathe. It just kept going, and it kept nailing every single thing that they wanted to do. One of the biggest laughs of the movie was when Rooster gets his plane shot down and he lands, and then he comes running, and then he pushes him. And that interaction where he's like, "You told me not to think," was so good.
That was great.
And in any other movie, when a movie switches tones like that on you so quickly, it could go south pretty fast. Where you go, oh, that was meant to be a joke. Like, it doesn't play. It's just meant to be a joke.
Right.
That worked so hard, considering just what just happened, just how, the drama that just ensued. Who would think to make a joke like that at that time?
Yeah.
It works. It
brought
just
like a
so
levity
works.
to the moment. It just
brought a huge
back
levity.
Up,
and tying it back.
Yeah,
to
they're both
line,
alive. Take a breath.
Yes. And then it goes into the F-14 montage. Which was perfect. Again, it was kind of comedic more at that point. So it was just, again, calculation. Like, how do we get them from this point to this kind of ridiculous point where it's like behind enemy lines, ridiculous. They're gonna steal a jet from the enemy? Like, what's going on? In another movie, this would be handled poorly. They nailed it. And I just, what a third act. I mean, possibly one of the best third acts of any movie I have ever seen in my life, to be honest. Like,
I just thought it was just such a great theater experience. I really don't know what to say, and I feel like we're just going to spend the next 30 minutes just praising every little bit of this movie.
Okay, well, in that case, then, just really quickly, was there anything you actually were bothered by? I struggle. I don't know.
You've seen it twice, so you would know better. But if I go first,
go for it. I'm curious. Do you?
I don't think I can at the moment. I can't find something at the moment that I'm just
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, like I guess some people could say, "Oh, you don't need the opening montage where he takes that plane," but it's just like, well, that's actually needed because it's a story point to send him back to Top Gun.
I disagree. I love that sequence.
Yeah, so do I.
When his plane goes down and there's that zoop, it's just like sucked in and you just don't know what happened. Like, did he die? Like, did he die? Just now?
Almost thought, I was like, wait a minute, is Top Gun like back? Like, is he going
right.
back? Like, imagine if the cuts to the next frame and it's 3 months earlier.
Exactly. That's what I thought maybe that this moment could have been. Yeah.
And they left us fucking hanging for 2 hours of the movie to let him know if he was actually okay.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also maybe not a bad decision. But it's still a good opening. No, even that I
But
loved.
no, man. Like, I can't find a single thing that I didn't like about it, and something even if I was trying to nitpick, like as like a video editor, I didn't see bad editing. I didn't see anything that didn't make sense.
Bad
like the
CGI.
Story, no,
you know?
I mean, even when there was CGI, it was well done.
Absolutely,
and that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
I
think they. I was trying to find something, dude. I just don't. I would give this an easy out of my own scale of 5 out of 5. Like I said, I mean, if and I was thinking like, okay, let's talk about like the extra or not the extras, but the side characters, the team, like Hangman, Phoenix, Bob. I thought surely one of them. I was like, okay, that's a big team. Maybe they won't give enough time for some people, and they won't wrap up story. Nah, man. And not only did we get a perfect amount of every single one of those characters, who each one I loved. Right. I wasn't annoyed by any of them.
Right.
They gave them each one of them like their own little arc that was satisfying for the movie. Even Hangman, like right at the end when he comes in to save the day. I mean, what? That's crazy. He learns. I mean, even then, I thought if there was anywhere I would find something wrong, it would be something to do with the team, because I was like, oh, it's too much. They didn't, they didn't satisfy any of that.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Nope. Happy.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. What else to say about how fantastic.
All right, that's it. All right, bye everybody.
I have plenty more to say, because there's more to say.
We're just gushing. We're just gushing.
But like, it's just straight gushing right now. I mean, Tom Cruise. Let's talk about his performance, and actually, let's talk about all the actors' performances, because I think that it's going to get slept on quite a bit before we start about the stunt work, because this movie is a spectacle because of the stunt work, but it's also a spectacle because it's propelled by the actors, by the situations that assuming Tom Cruise and the director put them in. Like, they look like their eyes are about to pop out of their heads. They look like they are trained pilots, that they're really suffering through some of these hard G moments. And then the tension that they've built with each other, it works really well. Like, you have Rooster, who's this kind of play it safe guy. Then you have Hangman, who's this little too loose, which is, that's Maverick.
Right.
A little too loose. And Rooster's Iceman, kind of, but he's also kind of Maverick, because he has a talent.
mixture.
It's almost like there's two characters playing the new Maverick, and they have to learn to coexist with each other now.
That's a good point. Yeah, sure.
Which I really thought was a really kind of interesting way to tackle it. And then all the other team members were great. Like, you thought Bob was going to be like, oh, this guy's just here for comedic relief. And then like he had some he had some great lines and actually mattered.
I was going to say, like, I agree. I think it's actually kind of crazy, because when you brought that up, like comedic relief, a lot of these movies have characters that are almost a little over the top in their lane, so that you can understand, oh, that's what they're supposed to be. But this movie does a really good job of giving everyone their humanity. Like, no, these are real people. They're different, but you see them more or less as equals. There's no one who is over the top, or it takes itself really seriously. And that's a great feat. I mean,
it's the actors are something that I think a lot of people maybe won't talk so much about, but it definitely should. What did you love most about the film? Was it just the acting, just the stunts, a mixture of some stuff? Like, was there one thing in the movie that you went, that's why this movie is spectacular? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, but beyond the obvious, which is like the action scenes and stuff. No, I knew it was Oscar material when with the editing. It really was the editing. That's where I really was like, oh damn, like this is next level. This is not
Right,
some
yeah, I
this
agree.
was not some action, a side project. They took this really, really seriously. And the reason I know that sounds a little anticlimactic, but the truth is, editing is something that is largely overlooked in most films. Like people don't really know, right? Like what is good editing, right?
Right.
But as editors, I'm glad you saw it yourself. The editing is pinpoint. It is so well timed. Everything. There's not one scene I would say went too long, too short. Not a single frame that I thought held on too long, too short, that was too was an awkward close up or a wide shot. It was and again, particularly for the action sequences, and particularly at the end, it just carried me all the way through, just by the beats and the flow. It's incredible. If there's any editors out there, if you want to know what good editing is like this is it. And not on just on a action level, in the actual narrative beats as well. I thought it was great. You brought up, I wanted to bring up one edit choice that I thought was amazing on a narrative level, and that brings back up your scene that you loved, which is the where Coyote blacks out and the birds hit, right? There's it cuts to the next scene, and that's a shot of Rooster. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that is a great edit choice, because that's when you watch that scene, exactly that's why Mav did all that to Rooster, because that shit happens. Yeah. And you cut to that scene, and Rooster understands, oh, okay, right. Like my friends could have died, I could have died. And then they continue to have that. That's literally what the scene's about. He confronts Maverick about that whole thing. That again, it's just that kind of storytelling is so. I don't know. It's so good. It sounds
fantastic.
Right. Like it's decisions like that is like wow.
The editor does that multiple times in the movie.
Agreed.
Where he pulls the rug out from under you, and you don't know what the fuck just happened, and you're just like, wait a minute. When are you gonna give it to us? But like you said, the tension, it doesn't go too long. It's not like one of a bad scary movie trope. That's like a perfect example for this, where the person closes a cupboard, right? And looks and there's nothing there. And then looks over and there's nothing there.
Right.
And then they'll look back and there's nothing there. And then they'll look back on the fourth one and then something's there.
Right.
And
you feel it. You feel it now, right? Like that moment's coming.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's coming. But like this, you didn't really know what was next, and that's what made it like put you on the edge of your seat.
Agreed.
Like just when like that moment when she's in the dead spin, I think is what they're calling it in the movie. I don't know if that's
Okay.
So and they tell him they tell Bob and Phoenix, pull. You're just like, oh Jesus, is it gonna happen? Is she gonna do it? Yeah. I didn't think. In my head, I'm just thinking, oh, I didn't think she was gonna die. I thought it was gonna be fucking like one of the other guys that doesn't say anything. Oh shit!
Right.
So it's it's a perfectly timed moment, and it really is a lost art. I think it
really is.
In movies
it reminded me of that. It's also a push and pull of it was a constant. There was like constant payoffs. Right. Yeah. Like a lot of movies hold that until the very, very end, but the movie has a bunch of payoffs. It's constant payoffs. Yes. You're laughing, you're caring for characters. You hate characters. It's this just waves of that throughout the entire film. It's just brilliant. It's absolute brilliance on every level. I don't know, dude. We keep gushing. I don't know if we've ever gushed about a movie. I mean, we've seen Endgame. We've seen Infinity War. We've seen some amazing movies, man. And this. I don't know how. What else to say. I know
I can't remember a film of peers that I know that's been unilaterally praised the way this has.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot stress how spectacular it is, and I just want to go on my soapbox here for a minute, because this harkens back to like 1970s cinema. Remember, in 1960s, through a quick history, 1960 to 1970 was a bad time for movies. Everything was the same. Everything was vanilla, and the box office was dying. Theaters were dying. They needed something big, something amazing to come in. And then like the Renaissance in the 70s happened. The 70s Renaissance happened. And essentially you got films like Jaws where they actually went to Cape Cod and filmed. That's why it was such a disaster. You got movies like The Godfather, Star Wars, an insane bet, Star Wars. And it led into a new golden age of movies. And this feels like in a time when everything is the same. And look, I love Marvel films,
of course,
but they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, there's a fucking Marvel movie. There's a Marvel TV show. They're everywhere. The DC movies, all that stuff is great, but it all feels the same. It's all the same story. This feels excitingly fresh, which is not something you would have figured you said about a movie that's a sequel to another film that was made 36 years ago. This is a 36-year-old sequel being made. And I think it could potentially rejuvenate Hollywood because it's movie making how it used to be.
Right.
And that is what makes another thing that just takes this movie to the next level. It's just, there's no message being put across. There's no point. There's no, hey, we have to have this character because it's this or this because it's that. There's none of that. Everybody, it's just singularly focused on telling a good story. That's it. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what makes, cinema. That's what makes stuff great and fun to watch, because I just want to watch stories. I don't want to be reminded of real world shit. I just want to watch a story. And you can still exhilarate and excite and just fucking pull someone's heart out because you think a character might be dead. A character that you didn't know existed an hour and a half ago. Like, this is what could be done if there was more of this, more people like Tom Cruise. So I really hope this does kind of rejuvenate Hollywood to do more practical effects, less superhero movies. I love superhero movies, but less superhero movies, stuff like that, man.
You want me to follow that up? You son of a bitch. That is so, keep going. I don't know what else to say. You're making me cry here. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely 120% correct. I don't know what else to say. You're right. You hit it. You hit it on the nose. It feels, you're right. It feels just, it's a movie. It's a movie.
That's all it is.
Movie.
That's all it needs to be.
It's a phenomenal one.
Yes.
You said it perfectly. There's no message. There's no politics. There's no,
nothing.
Obviously there is behind the scenes. There's again, there's a whole drama about when it should be released, blah, blah, blah. But the movie itself,
right,
just wants to entertain you. It just wants to give you all the feels that movies are meant to give you. And it did that. Right. It does that on every level, every single thing.
You just said it perfectly. It gives you what movies are supposed to give you. It just makes you feel things and it makes you want to go see it. That's perfect way to put it, man. Keep going.
Yeah, it was always supposed to be magic. That's why they coined the term magic, not just because of how it's made, but how it makes you feel. Again, how you put it about a character you didn't know.
Right.
30 minutes ago, an hour ago. And now you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do without them in my life. Like, what happened?
Right.
Bob, no Bob.
Why do I care so much about fucking Bob? Yeah. Like, I shouldn't.
I don't know. Right?
I do.
It's and he, at the time that you start caring about the team, like, they don't even have the most dialogue. I'm going to look back at this movie and just like dissect how the hell they did that. Because again, you have all these superhero movies now, these other types of movies that are trying so painfully hard to keep your attention and to like get the laugh from you. I don't know if did you watch Obi-Wan Kenobi this past weekend? I
haven't yet. I haven't been too excited about it, and I haven't heard. I have one friend that's seen it, and he's like, it's not my favorite thing in the world. He's like, I don't like what they're doing, is what he's saying. So
it's awful. It's awful. I've watched it. It's awful. Anyways, so like to bring that up, the second, you watch it, but I watched it. It's awful. The second episode, and this is a perfect example of a modern example of this. Oh wait, shit. Okay, no. Oh fuck, no, I can't say it. I can't
Why
say
not?
it. No.
Why?
Because I'll ruin it for you.
I don't give a shit.
It's
Say
not
it.
a huge narrative thing. Okay, you sure? You sure? It's not that big of a deal.
I'm not a Star Wars guy. Say it.
Okay. So there's a scene where Obi-Wan meets another quote unquote Jedi. Okay. He needs information. He goes to this Jedi, and it's kind of the serious moment until of course the Jedi puts back his hood, and it's fucking Kumail Nanjiani, and he's playing a fake Jedi, and he plays like your typical like comedic guy. It's here's the comedian that's supposed to make you laugh.
Really, yeah.
And it sucks. Doesn't work anymore.
Right.
And it's all just because they want you to laugh at that moment. I hated it. It felt so cheap. It's like, are you guys even writing? You really had to like get Kumail Nanjiani to play a Jedi, like a fake Jedi, to like get something out of me. It's frustrating. It's stuff like that. That's becoming before, maybe like 5-10 years ago. That was exciting.
It would have worked. You would have been like, whoa, that's a comedian in this role. I never thought it was weird. Oh, it's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah. But nowadays, nope. And it feels so cheap. It feels so like contrived and like really you had nothing else to. And then here's this fucking movie and that's a Jedi that has IP and shit behind it. I mean, who fucking talks about fighter jet pilots? No one. And I'm falling in love with all these fucking people. Why? Because the script and just all of it. I'm gonna fucking dissect this movie because it just made me feel things that I'm like, this is insane.
But like you kind of hit it on the head there, dude. Like it's not overcomplicated. It's not trying too hard. It's when the team. So at one point in the movie, this is a spoiler alert, but obviously it's a spoiler alert. Shit, too late now. If you made it this far, turn back now, I guess.
Guess what? It has planes.
Yeah. Guess what? We already got the view, so it counts for us. Anyway. At one point, Maverick gets dismissed because Iceman dies. Which, by the way, we haven't even talked about Iceman.
The Val Kilmer scene.
Why does that scene matter so much to me? Like, why? Why can these two dudes who just at the very end of the first Top Gun shake their hands and you tell, oh, they're friends? Why does it feel like we've known them for 30 years, our entire life?
Technically, and we have, in a sense.
And we watched a friendship die because we watched a guy lose another friend. Here's another friend that he's lost. Like think about it. Goose, other people he may have lost. And then he goes and he loses his friend, his one guy keeping him above. And now he's got to go figure out what to do with Rooster, Goose's son, somebody that already despises him because he's backed his career up. Like this, you just have to feel for Maverick because you know he's going through some sort of trauma. But again, it's not focused so hard on that.
No,
it doesn't. It does. You know what it does? It doesn't treat the audience like we're fucking 13-year-olds.
That was my next comment. I was literally about to say the same thing. The movie doesn't treat you like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It trusts that you'll get it. Understand these characters, like just human emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Just human emotion. It's not race related. It doesn't nothing. It's just like here are these people here's a man who is completely in absolute grief 30 years later. About missing a friend and not knowing what to do for his son because he feels guilt. It doesn't treat you like an idiot. Yeah, you hit it. You hit it.
That's exactly right. You just care about the characters, but again, it's not trying hard to make you care.
No, it really isn't. It's not.
And then you talk about a moment that has amazing comedic timing in this, there's a lot of them that have amazing comedic timing in it.
Agreed. I didn't complain about any of the jokes.
When he's going Mach 10 at the very beginning, and the guy tells him, because before he goes, he tells him, hey, we don't need 10.1, we don't need 10.2, we just need Mach 10. And he goes, I don't like that look, Maverick. Yeah. And then the guy just kind of drops his head and he goes, oh no. Right.
Yeah.
So that part's really funny. When they make him team leader, dude, I couldn't stop laughing because he steps forward like, wait, no, I don't want to be team leader. I don't. He's literally like,
that's a rhetorical question, Maverick. Yeah.
That was really funny. There's just
Yeah.
like so many parts that just made me laugh. I laughed, and I'm glad I wasn't the only one in the theater because there's a lot of people that laughed when they're shooting. We're trying to shoot down that new 5th generation fighter, right?
Yeah.
And he misses the first missile, and it does this like crazy fucking maneuver.
Yeah, just freaking nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's like, what the fuck?
not Goose, but
Rooster.
Rooster goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't stop laughing. Like it was all just like really well timed things, man.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, because it's just you're right. Because it basically does some sort of superhero maneuver, and you're just like in that moment you're saying the same thing. You're just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck just happened? Like I've never done that. Like I didn't even know our planes could do that.
again, to our point, they're relating to the audience.
Yeah.
Because the audience would probably say that. You know,
Right.
I'm
yeah.
sure some people in the audience did say it.
Yeah, that was a great shot. I remember that now. That's so good.
Dude.
And another part of that sequence that I loved, you don't get to see the faces of the enemies at all. They make that choice of just like, they're not important. I always want.
I do think that there is a point to that. I don't think this movie, they're not trying to make a political point or anything like that, right?
Yeah, right,
So
exactly.
You don't see the faces because like it's an unnamed enemy.
Right.
And it's not important.
It's just not important
to the story.
I
You don't
agree.
need to know if it was a North Korean or
Exactly.
Russian.
It goes back to
or-
what you said. It just
Yeah.
it's not
It's not
dodges
trying
all
to
that.
it's not trying to make a point.
It literally makes a point. Yeah, it makes sure
Pushes
that
it all aside.
we're not talking about that. We're getting away from that.
Right.
This is purely entertainment. Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck who these people are? Russians, whatever. Like it's really not important. Yeah.
Not right now. Not in this
Not right-
movie. Not
yeah,
in fucking
not-
Top Gun Maverick. This is it's just a phenomenal film, Ed.
Yeah.
I just cannot get over
No,
it.
I agree. Well, I'm going to ask you now then. So I mean, it sounds more or less obvious, but we need to figure out where this is lying with the rest of action and this type of film in your roster. I rewatched Fallout afterwards just because I was on a Tom Cruise hype and I just love that movie. I've watched that movie a bajillion times already.
Dead Reckoning trailer.
Oh yeah, Dead Reckoning. Oh, that played beautifully in theater, by the way.
I mean, so obviously you and I watch all the trailers before, and they were seeing, I believe, the trailer for the first time, and it was hilarious to hear them go, "Oh my god, oh my gosh, oh my gosh!"
You had people like that
at the Dead Reckoning.
Oh, that's
trailer, yeah.
awesome, dude.
Like when
Because they
when he
probably
go-
never saw it yet. They haven't.
Right,
Maybe,
that's what I'm
maybe
saying,
some
yeah.
people haven't seen it yet. Dude,
Yeah.
I want that so badly that you don't
So
even
do I.
know. I am.
So do I.
I want that moment so bad.
Why do I care about this shit?
I've said this so many times. Like that is the thing I miss. I want that moment again where I just don't know anything, and I want to see that trailer just see it for the first time. Oh my god! I cry about it thinking about it.
If the
dude.
trailer doesn't get leaked last week, we get
Yeah.
to experience for the first time in the theater.
Oh god!
Same with
think
the
so?
Avatar trailer.
Do you think so?
I know so. The trailer got leaked and Paramount was like, fuck it.
They were like,
just
"Fuck
drop
it, release it
Yeah.
beforehand."
Just release it.
Oh my god!
It's too hard to keep everything offline. But yeah,
I'm so jealous about those people. I'm jealous.
Let's go back to action movie.
Yeah, so I watched Fallout, and I love Fallout. You know, I love Fallout. I think it's one of the best action films ever made. It still is. I still think it
I
does.
would agree. Yeah.
But I still think that Top Gun though is still a better movie. It's still a better. It's hard for me now to even figure out what the fuck this genre of movie is, because like a lot of people, it's gonna be it's marketed as an action movie, but
Yeah,
Jesus
of course.
Christ, dude, it's not just an action movie. It's just a great drama. It's also a drama. It's a
Right.
comedy. It's
Right.
it's all these things, and it's really its golden ticket to being really what puts it above, like, again, an action film, like a Tom Cruise blockbuster. No,
Right.
it hits all these other points where it just goes above that. I'm trying to figure out if this is Tom Cruise's best fucking movie of all time. I don't. It might just be. I don't know. I'm punching myself in the face. What do you think? Where does this movie lie?
His best movie of all time. I don't think that's an overreaction. I think obviously he's like fine wine. He's gotten better with age,
Clearly.
especially these action movies. But for me, the reason like this is you hit on it, but you didn't go full into it. The reason why this is better than in Mission Impossible, right, dude, is because it's not overly confusing. Like in Mission
That's true.
Impossible, you go through, you're like, wait, what the fuck? Who's that?
True.
and they've simplified them a lot. Go back and
Yeah.
watch like Mission Impossible 2 and 1
True.
and 3. You're just like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
True.
Why is it? Yeah, spy stories are, they're supposed to be confusing.
They're supposed to be like that.
That's the point.
Betrayals and double backstabbing,
Triple crosses. Yeah. That's the point, right? So it makes sense. It works. That strips all that away and says, here's the story about Pete, Mitchell, Maverick,
yeah,
and enjoy.
Yeah.
Here's his basically his son, the son he's never gonna have in Brewster. Can he let him go fight? It's way more emotional than you ever thought it would be. I didn't think this movie was gonna make me feel emotional and shit.
Me either.
And that's why it works. But in terms of action movies, that's why it does. Oh man, it's number one for me.
Oh, dude! I'm stopping myself. I'm really stopping myself from going too far with my words here. I even texted this about you, but I don't know, man. I haven't felt this way about an action movie, particularly. Honestly, a movie. I don't know. I don't know since when. I have to really think hard about it.
Like
it might just be one of the best movies ever made.
Like, let's be honest. Fury Road was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
but I don't remember feeling the way about this movie the way I felt about Fury Road.
Emotionally speaking, no. Right?
That's a fun movie, but I don't give a shit about Max.
I still consider that a great action movie. Like, it did its job. It did its job in spades as an action film. And but that's all I expected from it. That's all I expected from it. Right?
To like counter anybody that's like, oh, but you cared about Pete Maverick Mitchell. No, I don't give a shit about Maverick. I didn't care about him. Like I said, it's 1986's or whatever. Top Gun is fine.
Yeah.
This is something else.
It's something else. It's something else. You're right.
No, man.
It's weird. Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that I don't care about Pete. I didn't remember his name, to be honest. Pete Mitchell. I didn't know. I just know it's Maverick.
Bro, the first 4 times they say Pete, and I'm like, who the fuck is Pete? He's Pete. I had no idea. I was like, what the fuck?
Pistol Pete.
See, there's something wrong with the movie. They don't explain who Pete is. They just take that for granted. Fuckers.
But then all of a sudden we care about him. Suddenly he's a character that we fucking
love
and want to not die and want the best for. We want the best for the dude because of what he went through. And maybe it is because of, the first Top Gun had to happen, but still. I mean, sequels always want to be better than the first, right? This is sequels always want to be better. And this is a really rare case where it is.
Yeah, how many sequels are better?
Like,
so what?
Like
A New Hope and then
every
Empire
way.
Strikes Back. That's better.
Probably. I mean, yeah. Empire Strikes Back is probably I'd put that up there. I would argue probably the second Jason Bourne. I do think is better than the first Jason Bourne.
The Dark Knight. That's obviously
the Dark Knight.
Tiny bit better. We're talking about 2 fantastic movies, so.
It's true. Spider-Man 2, 2 fantastic movies again, though.
Yeah, 2 fantastic movies again.
But again, it's something you can probably count on 2 hands, probably.
Yeah.
If you really had to think about it, it is rare. Most sequels are good and you like them. They are just as good or more or less, blah blah blah. But this is it's not even a question. It's not even close to how much better this movie is.
Insane.
It's insane. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting scared about how this movie's its effect on me, man. I don't. Is it because we haven't had a movie like this, or perhaps I was too young to when I had seen The Mummy or The Matrix.
I'll always remember having watching The Mummy for the first time and thinking, oh my god, this is amazing. Always remember seeing, The Italian Job, the Mark Wahlberg one. Yeah, I fucking loved that movie. I still love that movie.
It's a great movie.
The first time I saw Ocean's 11 with George Clooney.
Thank you. Yes. Love it.
Why? I think I remember saying to myself in a movie, why in a movie where there's no explosions do I love it so much? Because I was young. Because I wanted explosions and shit.
Yeah, true. But in absence of explosions, you get it's just really good storytelling. It really is, and that movie has style too. But this one too. It's just Yeah, I feel like we're basically just repeating ourselves here, but I feel like if anybody can take away anything, like just look how much of a wreck we are. We're a wreck, dude.
Yeah.
We're a wreck about this movie. Like
I went on like 20 minutes ago. I went on a fucking spiel about a Hollywood Renaissance and why.
Yeah, you took it back like you were like. I felt you were alive. I was like, this motherfucker was alive.
I wasn't alive in the 70s.
I've only known you for 3 years. You were alive in the 60s, bro. Holy shit! I didn't know. Tell me about Frank Sinatra. Holy shit! I believed you,
dude. That's how good this movie is.
I agree.
It harkens back to a time in cinema that we just don't have anymore.
You're making me feel like this needs to win fucking Best Picture.
It does.
Like it needs to win.
It
needs to win. Man, it's not. It's not. But it deserves to win.
It does because again, it is everything Hollywood is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Again, you take whatever message you want away from anything. Just fucking watch this movie. What?
Speaking about that, I was gonna say, first of all, you're right. But second, I mean, all of the everything, everywhere, all at once crowd is going furious right now.
Yeah, nothing's
gonna beat this movie this year. Everything, everywhere, all at once is the best movie I've ever seen. It's gonna win Best Picture.
Look, it might still win Best Picture, but
it might.
Not in our hearts.
No, not in our hearts,
dude.
No, honestly, I want Top Gun to win. I do. I like it better. It
was a better movie.
It's a better movie. It's a better movie.
Again, you could find if you go back and listen to the Everything Everywhere episode, which is another popular upload we have.
True.
It is. Go watch it. Yeah. Anyway, you can find flaws. Like we said, it does get flaws. Too self-indulgent. It does go too much. It's a lot of that stuff that you can say, oh, this beat doesn't, they don't need to be there for this movie to still have the same great, fantastic story that it does. Because when you boil it down, it's just about the story. Correct. Which that's another movie that's not trying to make a point. It's just a movie that's trying to tell a story between a mother and a daughter.
I agree.
Again, by the way,
great story.
That's why the movie works.
That's why it works.
Exactly.
It defaulted back to what they were there in the first place meant to do. So there you go.
But Top Gun is just
man, dude.
It's just a spectacular event that you just don't get this anymore.
You just don't.
Even Avengers films, you're so desensitized to them because you've had 4 of them already. And the snap was like, but there's nothing in that movie. Even Thor arriving on Wakanda, there is nothing in that movie. Even fucking Tobey Maguire.
There's a big statement from you.
Even Tobey Maguire
and
Andrew Garfield showing up in No Way Home does not come close to what this movie made me feel.
Achieve and feel 100%. Yeah, 100%. Because because it starts. I mean, it doesn't start from scratch necessarily, but really, it kind of does. Like again, this is not an IP that everyone loves. It's not. It has an uphill battle. Yeah, there's an uphill battle. It's not where you had all this pomp and circumstance with No Way Home, where you knew something was gonna happen. And look, I love that moment. That moment will live with me forever.
Forever.
But here's the thing, is that this movie as a whole is gonna live with me forever. Like, this is gonna. It's given me this precious gift of just this entire movie. I will gush over for as much as I've gushed over Ocean's 11, one of my favorite movies, and Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, all these like perfect.
Where does this rank for you amongst those?
Don't ask me this right now, man. I'm too much of a wreck, dude. We got to come back. I can't right now.
That's fine.
I can't right now. I'm going to say some shit I'm going to regret. Do you have this? Do you have this somewhere? That you can say definitively
it would be
right now.
My top 5 definitively
of all time.
Oh,
bro, we gotta do an episode then. I don't know.
I would have to drop out. I don't know.
Man,
Inception would have to get dropped somewhere.
Oh, no.
Maybe even The Mummy would have to get dropped somewhere. This is in my top 5 of all time.
This is scary.
Hell, a few Marvel movies might have to get dropped to fit this in my top 5.
I'm feeling sick.
Again, it goes back. I don't know how to just stress this enough because I've said it 100 times. It goes back to what this movie made me feel. This movie made me feel something.
Yeah.
Like again, we just said Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie actually did make me feel something. I was like, gosh. Ooh, of course. Seeing a mom and a daughter struggle, that's heartbreaking. It's hard, man. Because I lived here. My mom and my sister, they don't get along sometimes, but they love each other. And, hey, That's a thing. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
But this was something else. This just put me on a fucking. I haven't walked out of a movie this happy in a long time. I'm not even No Way Home made me feel this happy. Not seeing fucking Toby and Andrew smile as they get, kind of sent back to their own universes. No, this is something. It's something on another else. Level. It's filmmaking. I don't know how to say it. It's filmmaking
at its
we haven't seen.
It's filmmaking at its greatest.
That's it.
It just
filmmaking at its greatest.
This is movie magic. This is what movies were made to do in the first place.
Hollywood.
In every facet.
You have to learn. It's not about. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
Now I really want to know. Whoa.
It's not about.
Just say it. Fuck it.
Don't stress too hard about representation. Yeah, sure, it matters. It does.
I agree with
you. Cast the best person for the role. Just find the best people for the roles.
Right.
Don't stress too much about it. Don't stress about trying to make a point about the world. Make a point about anything going on in the world. If that is what your movie's focused on, sure, I guess. Go ahead. Specifically.
Right.
Don't stress about appeasing a certain audience, whether that's left or whether that's right. It shouldn't be about any of that.
Right.
It should just be about telling a story, because that's what this movie does. It tells this story that I'm a fucking 31-year-old man. I've never in my life been in an airplane. Why do I feel connected to this Pete Maverick Mitchell in this airplane right now? Because it's just good storytelling. That's all.
Agreed.
That's all you have to focus on, and people will come.
Yeah.
And it's proof. People will come in droves. Word of mouth is going to send this movie into the fucking stratosphere.
Right.
And it should. And again, I think James Cameron is the same way. He's not worried about telling a point. He's just worried about giving you a visual spectacle.
Yeah.
Because that's all that matters.
Yeah, true.
That's all that matters.
It's the same, honestly, I would say the same thing with pretty much all the greats. I mean, Christopher Nolan. Again, his movies are not politically charged whatsoever.
No, Christopher Nolan.
He's a nut about science, but
you're right. You're right. They're scientifically charged.
You're scientifically charged to the wazoo. Jesus Christ, what the fuck was Tenet?
Interstellar is a movie we have to do. 2 beers in, Interstellar.
That's 2 beers in, I love it. Yeah, I would argue Inception too. I mean, Inception is one of my favorite movies too. Actually,
it is one of mine too. Inception might have to fall off for Top Gun. One of them.
I'm telling you. You're opening a can of worms right now, dude. You can't do this to me at 9 o'clock at night. You can't.
We need
We're
a
gonna
couple
think
weeks
about this. Yeah. This needs to simmer. I gotta watch it a third and fourth time.
Same.
If you, by the way, if you haven't seen it, I know we sound like kind of purists when we say this, but I'm not shitting you. You need to see this in IMAX. Like, you really do. Just spend, if you want a movie to, like, if you really are thinking like, what should I spend a little couple extra dollars on? Watch this on the biggest screen you could possibly find. I think it makes an absolute difference.
Right. And we're not taking that lightly, by the way. Like, we know how expensive movie tickets are, guys. Like,
I agree.
Like, we live in California. It don't get anywhere more expensive than for us.
Yes.
Like, trust us. It's expensive to see these movies in IMAX.
Right.
But this is worth it.
This is 100% worth that extra money just to see those IMAX scenes in person, man. Because that's history in the making right there. And it's just incredible.
It's a wonderful,
it's incredible
experience. Like, you can watch this with your kid and be like, oh, there's one bad word, no big deal. Like, it's just, I can't stress how good this movie is. I do have one worry about this movie. And
what's
I'm interested.
that?
Well, the worry is not so much about the movie.
Oh.
The worry is actually, what effect will this have on Hollywood? Will it be what I said, what I ranted about earlier, which I don't want to say rant, I want to say passionately plead.
That's a good one. I like that.
Or will they think any 36-year-old, 27-year-old, 22-year-old franchise, dead franchise, can we revive it and fix it and save it if we throw some action and some money into it?
That's 100%. That's definitely one. That's inevitable.
Don't do that.
No, don't do it.
Don't do
but
that.
That's inevitable. That's going to happen. They're going to see Top Gun. Yeah, because you just have people out of touch. People see Top Gun and they just see dollar signs and go, well, let's just do that movie again without even, they probably haven't even watched it. They probably didn't even watch it. They're just like, wow, that movie did great. Let's just get a director, fucking tell him to blueprint that motherfucker. And then that's it. Yeah, we're gonna see it. Because that's kind of the sour thing. I agree with you. That's kind of the sour thing about the movie. Again, not in and of itself, but its effect is that it is a nostalgic movie because it is. There's no escaping that. Like, of course, it pulls from, again, part of the drama is that it's 36 years ago. 36 years ago. That's a fucking long way to come for a sequel.
Right.
And so we're gonna see that. This is, if anything, it's gonna give more of an uplift for people who are like, oh yeah, nostalgia could still completely works.
Yeah,
it's gonna make billion. And
Hollywood doesn't need to be a nostalgia train. You gotta stop.
No, it doesn't need to be. But because they do use it as a crutch, and I don't blame them in a sense. Again, if you're talking about the business side of movies, you're trying to make as much money back as possible. Why not build on something that already has some following? I get it. It is a bit of a pull to get people into a theater. That is true. The next challenge I have to see, that I'd want to see from Hollywood, is make a movie like this, completely original, just no ties to nothing, and then maybe we can have a new humongous golden age renaissance of fresh movies again. But not until then do I think that's going to happen. It has to be proven. If Hollywood has proven anything, is that their movies must prove themselves in order to make things happen.
Right, I agree.
For the money, because and again, we're in fucking recession. Gas prices are fucking insane. We can't buy baby milk or whatever the fuck it is that's out of stock. All these things are just back the fact that, like, people need to watch out what they're spending their money on, and that's going to. Sorry.
Both of us clearly aren't fathers, by the way.
No, but. It is, right? Is it powdered milk? I forget.
I think it's baby formula. Is that what it's called?
Formula, sure.
Formula,
yeah,
whatever. I don't know. We're not. I have a dog.
Anyways, yeah. So that's my point. Is that I think, either way, I think it is. I think it's gonna have a more positive impact than negative. But you're right. I see your worry there. I agree with you. I mean, who knows? People, all these studios will always try to divert and change the way that these things were made, because it's not like they're meeting up at some conference afterwards and being like, hey buddy, share me what you did, like what was your secret recipe for the movie. They don't do that shit. So they're just gonna try to do their best to mimic it in some way. It's just mimic collateral damage. I don't know how to put it. That's just how it's gonna happen.
As I go through some of the negative reviews, currently 96%. It's a lot of
go fuck themselves. How about that?
The script doesn't cite who the enemy is, so the story's super bland.
We went over that. We went over why that's important.
It's just a movie. It's just movie porn for white dads. First of all, I saw.
How is that not racist? Tell me how that's not racist. Tell me how that's not racist, and it's on a fucking publication. That's bullshit. How is that not racist?
I don't know, man.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
There is no woman in power, so clearly the movie is something for a past age. I can't pronounce the word.
Oh my god, I don't even want to have dinner with these people.
Like, what does that matter to the movie? You're missing the point of the movie.
These people, I wouldn't want to get into an escape craft with.
Oh, whoa! Look at this one. The stunts fall flat to me. The excitement was not there, and it feels very underwhelming.
Was that Tom Cruise himself? Because that's the only fucking person on the planet who I could imagine was disappointed in themselves.
Yeah, a lot of the bad reviews don't say anything about the actual storytelling or anything like that. They just find a thing to pick on, which, again, you're missing the point of the movie. So I was just the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm just interested in why it's only 96%, because it's 99% on the audience score.
Hell damn yeah, it should be.
Right. I mean, I figured this movie be 99%. I mean,
granted, dude, 96% is really, really good. That's really, really good. That is like,
I've had natural. Like three reviews, three negative reviews that aren't actually valid in my opinion.
Sure.
Like not naming the enemy, no women in power. Like,
yeah.
Like, is that really gonna be like you're gonna give a movie a bad score because of that? Then I think then I don't think you went to the movie for the right reason.
I mean, obviously.
Maybe you shouldn't be a movie critic.
Ooh,
maybe
Damn.
that people. You want to know why people don't like movie critics? Is people like do that.
Yeah, they do that
but
where they go to a movie for a completely
a
different
message and they miss the point.
Yeah, they miss the point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's impossible. I mean, it's what are you gonna do, man? It's the current age we live in where everything needs to make a fucking point because you know why? Everyone is fucking lost. They're freaking out. Their heads are chopped off. They don't know what the fuck's happening in the world, and they just need to be fed fucking answers.
Yeah, I mean, look,
they're not comfortable with just.
I really hope
shit
that
sucks.
Marvel can make a movie like this, where it's not about
It'd be pretty incredible.
Overarching. There's no message. There's no anything thrown into it. You know, just make a movie. Just make a fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean, do I think that'll happen? No. It's part of their shtick, you know. I get it. I mean, they're the first to really do it, so I completely.
Marvel
agree
fits, of course, both sides. They're really trying to play both sides, so it's subtle there, subtle there.
Yeah,
because they want to make a lot of money. Here's, I mean, I really don't have anything else great to say about the movie. Do you think we'll see a third one?
That is a good question. I asked that on the after show. I don't want one. I don't need one.
Right.
I don't need one. I would really like to hope they are comfortable leaving it this way. Part of the question actually I had with when I was producing that was, are we going to get a Top Gun 3 or are we going to get one with or without Tom Cruise? I think it's very possible they spin it off. I think that's very possible because this is a great bookend to all those characters. All those characters are good. You know,
yeah,
we're done.
Iceman, Goose, all
good.
the old characters are good. Even Warlock, we're good.
Yeah. So I think if anything, I think they will do a spin-off of some sort in that kind of vein or universe or something. Yeah.
I partially agree with you. I think it'll either be Top Gun 3, that'll be the final one, or a spin-off. Because this is a Paramount movie.
Yes.
And this is going to be Paramount's highest grosser in a long time, probably 100%. Since one of the Transformers films, one of the first three. Remember, the first three Transformer films all grossed over $1 billion.
Oh, bonkers! I think they all have, haven't they?
No, I don't think
all grossed over $1 billion.
I think 4 have. I don't think the last one
really?
did.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the spin-off with Haley Steinfeld, which apparently was actually pretty good. I haven't watched it.
I watched it. It was better than the other ones. I'll say
right.
That.
Travis Knight directed it. Nike's
better than the other ones. Yeah.
Nepotism. That's
nepotism. Sure.
Well, Phil Knight, the owner of Nike, Travis Knight's dad.
I know.
So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure. You're talented. Anyway.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Phil Knight, come on the show. Come talk to us. Oh no, wait. Travis Knight, come talk to us.
Phil Knight.
I don't. He's never gonna fucking hear us.
What the fuck am I doing here? What is my PR team getting me into? What is it? Two motherfuckers.
We'd love to hear your top running movies. Or basketball. Anyway, I feel like we'll probably see a continuation somehow because Paramount doesn't have a big franchise like this.
Yeah,
I don't know what it'll be. I hope it's whatever it is. My only hope is that Tom Cruise is in charge of the stunts somehow, some way. Tom Cruise says, "Hey, you can do this movie without me. That's totally fine, but I'm going to be in charge of the stunts. Here's what we're going to do."
Dude, to your point, though, I think this movie more than proves that Tom Cruise can produce any movie he wants.
Yeah.
Not even an action film. I think it's proved that he knows, not even on just an action level, but on a narrative level, what people will respond to. I would love to see him do something else, even if it was around the same thing, like a war movie or something where there's some action, but also obviously heavy drama. I think he totally pull that off.
A Tom Cruise... like last stint, he's this epic cop and this is his last run. He's an old man, he's going to retire, but here's one last job for him, one last case to solve. It can be a it can be like a action mystery.
Jack Reacher wasn't about that, was it? I didn't see Jack Reacher. I just know he plays like some.
You need to watch Reacher on Prime Video's Reacher is 10 times better,
about that.
Than Jack Reacher that
he plays the same. That's the same character.
It's the same character, yeah. From the same books, but he fits the bill more accurately.
I'll say this based on the main actor who I've seen pictures of, very different physical build than Tom Cruise was.
He's supposed to look like that. It's not supposed to look like Tom Cruise. Like you casted Tom Cruise because you wanted to get people in seats, which it worked because he got a sequel out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'd be excited. Yeah, I'd be excited to see what he. Here's the thing. I think Paramount, whatever, even if it's not Top Gun 3, Paramount, I think, is about to open the floodgates for Tom Cruise to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah,
they proved them. He proved them wrong. It's going to make them a shit ton of money. It's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah.
That's all green lights to pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
Do whatever you want. Because again,
do whatever you want.
He had a legal battle over this, and he had a legal battle over Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
They were going to release Mission Impossible, and he said, we're releasing Mission Impossible when I say, how I say, and when I say it's good. Then we can release it. And I got after this movie, you got no problem. Tom Cruise is the last. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's the last action star.
Yeah. We've talked about
really
this.
is.
He really is. He really is. He's the last. Yeah. It's arguably he's the last
megastar.
Actor. Yeah, like of that time,
Pure
like
A-lister.
where he comes from. Yeah. I think he is the last one. Yeah. And you know what? Yeah, he's gonna continue. I think. I hope he does. I don't see him stopping. That dude has never stopped, and I don't see him stopping
we do
at
know
all.
These last 2 Mission Impossibles are it.
Yes.
He has said that.
That's done. MI's done. It's a great run. That's a much longer run than we thought that franchise should be.
As long as you go out better than No Time to Die, I'm good. And that is a complete dig at No Time to Die.
I also rewatched that this weekend because my dad kind of just puts on movies randomly sometimes, and he put that on for us to have on the background. And God,
it was worse the second time I watched it.
It's bad. It's not good. I was like not wanting to pay attention. I wanted to turn it off. It's not good.
Like I'll stop and watch Casino Royale. I'll stop and watch Skyfall.
Yeah. Those movies I don't put on in the background. Those are full on, like I'm watching this.
Wonderful.
2.5 hours.
Movies you don't put on in the background. That's a beautiful way to phrase that.
This is a new one. I'm gonna be watching Top Gun, I think
absolutely
forever. Just maybe once a week. I don't know. In the beginning, maybe once a week, and then I'll taper off to like once a month, and then pretty much stay at once a month probably. Because that's just what we do. Yeah, man. I don't know what else there is to say. If you have anything else to say, it's just one of the greatest movies.
I don't.
It's one of the greatest movies. I think
it is in my top 5 of all time. It is.
Oh my god,
one of the greatest action films ever made. But it's also singularly one of the greatest films ever made.
I think it might be. And we're gonna have to do an episode on that. I think we're gonna have to do.
I can't harken back enough to the going back to the golden age.
Yeah, we need to do. I think we should do a episode on our top 5, like our top movies.
Okay. Oh yeah. We'll have to keep it
just so we
5.
have a running tab on that.
Maybe two honorable mentions, but top 5.
Oh yeah. Wait, right now you're asking me?
No.
Oh no! Oh god, hold on! Stop giving me heart attacks, dude.
It's 9:15, bro.
Right,
we gotta work tomorrow.
I can't take this right now. We do have to work tomorrow. Shut. All right. Well, this is a good place to stop it then. Everybody,
wonderful.
Go watch it. You have to watch this movie.
You have to watch this movie.
You are missing out. You're missing out. You are 100% missing out.
Yes,
I don't care if you hate action movies, love action movies, hate movies in general. You are missing out if you are not seeing this movie.
Yeah.
So go watch it and have a good time. Because I just want you to have a good time. We just want you to have a good time. It's a great fucking time.
Enjoy the anything that's bothering you at the beginning of the movie, whatever it might be, try to let it go. Go into this, and you won't regret it.
Yeah, I don't see how you can regret it. Unless, of course, you have a message that you need. Anyways,
stick up your butt.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah. Thanks you, everybody. Thanks, Alex.
Yes,
and
sir.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Bye.